Hey guys, this video is part of the web development basics series, and today we're going to talk about version control. Specifically, what is it and how do you do it? Why do you do it? I'm going to show you the absolute basics, and my goal is to let you know that it exists and just get you started with it, because realistically, you're not working for a team, you're going to be working for yourself, and you just want to make sure that you keep track of your code so that if your house burns down, insurance is going to cover your house, but it's not going to cover any artistic work such as your code. So make sure you host that on a platform, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So to host your code in the cloud, you're going to want a cloud provider such as GitLab, GitHub, or even Bitbucket. Bitbucket. I like GitLab myself because the interface has always made the most sense to me. GitHub, it's the most popular one, but I've always found it a little bit more confusing. So let's walk through the process of setting up a GitLab project. So here I am on GitLab.com. I have my cheese code slug project, domain, whatever. I can press new project, create a blank project, set it to public because I want you guys to have access to it. I'm going to add, just call this basic for tutorials, and the project name, I'll set it lowercase due to personal preference. And that's it. Create project. So here it is, my brand new project that's just been created. It's on the main branch. Don't worry about branches for now. I'll make a completely separate playlist and thread of videos that describes Git in more detail. This project consists of a single file that was created for us by GitLab. And what we want to do now is clone it to our local so that we can work with it. So to do that, you press the code button here. You have two authentication options. I'll let you figure those out on your own. I'm going to clone with SSH. I'm going to open up my terminal here. This one's called Terminator. I'm running Linux. So let me just zoom it in for you. I'll go to my cheese code folder, which I just made. And it's completely empty. So if I paste that command, I can do Git Clone. The way I've set up my SSH, because I have different keys for different destinations, is a little bit different than what you would expect, but all I have to do is add cheese in this freeze.ca.gitlab here, and it should work. Fantastic. Now if I do a list of what's here, I can see that there's this basic folder, and if I do output of the directories, we could see that there's a basic folder, which is a repo with that README file inside of it. That's great. I've just changed into the basic directory, and again we can see that there's just the .git file, which keeps track of all of our history. It starts with a dot, so it's a hidden file. Just ignore it for now. And then the README file that was generated by GitLab. I can type in git log just to see what the commits are, and it says the initial commit was done by me. Aidan Zon's my last name. Roman Dmitry is my middle name, in case you're curious. To show you how you can modify code, or the fact that you can and you should, is I'll basically use an inline editor for now. You can use a text editor, and I'll create a file.txt. In that file, I'll say Roman was here, question mark. I can also type in less file.txt to show that these are the contents of that file. If I type in git status, it'll say, oh, you have untracked files, because I'm not tracking these files. If I do a git add and a git status, now these files are being tracked by Git. And then we can do a commit, and it says the commit has been stored to Git, which is great. But now there's a discrepancy between my local and between the server. So every time after we commit, we need to do a git push. Again, it can get a lot more complicated than this, but I just want to show you that now I've made a change and I was able to commit it, and I can see the log of everything that's happened. And if I go to GitLab and I refresh, I could see that I have just added this commit. Now I can burn my house down and I'll still have access to my code later. Fantastic. As I was watching what I have just recorded, I realized that, you guessed it, W3 Schools also has a Git tutorial. So I encourage you to go there and just figure out what's going on. My goal is just to say there is version control. You have to use version control. And moving forward in all the projects, we will be using version control. And I will link the results of those projects to my repository that I just created so that you can have access right to the code. You can copy and paste it and modify and play with it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you at the next one.